everybody. My name is Olivier Mankondo, and today I will speak to you about the medication, which is a curse for the human health. Basically, in this video, I'm not going to ask you to stop your medication. What I will do, I will present you with some facts, and you will have to decide what you will do, what decision you're going to make about it. When we are ill, it's a way for our bodies to tell us that we are doing something wrong. We are not following the laws that govern this body, and that's why we start having symptoms and stuff like that. So in my video, I've always told you that disease don't fall from the sky. They don't fall from the sky. We are the creator of our diseases. So when you don't treat your body the way you were supposed to do, it's going to give you sickness and diseases, and we have to be aware of that. All of the cells, I'm saying all the cells that you've got in your body are programmed to give you perfect health, without exception. And basically illness doesn't come from old age, because we tend to think that the older you are getting, it's normal for you to get sick. But in my case, it was different. When I was younger, I was ill, I was sick. Now I'm older, I've got no disease at all, nothing at all in my body. I'm perfect. I'm disease free. So it's not old age. It's not as well genetic, because people will say, no, it's your genes in this and that. No. Basically, the genes or the genetic represent only 5%. 95% of the diseases that we've got are self-created. We create that ourselves. And if you've got bad genes, yeah, you can, and if you don't treat your body properly, you will basically make those bad genes wake up, and they will give you the disease that were hidden. So basically genetic only account for 5%. 95% of the diseases is self-created, just like I said. And in our African culture, we tend to think as well that when you are sick, it's from witchcraft. Witchcraft has nothing to do with that. It's the way you handle your body. And if you look, a lot of families have been broken up just because of that, because you will accuse your aunt, your auntie, your uncle, your grandparents of witchcraft, which is not the way it was supposed to be. Basically, we are ill because we don't eat what this body was designed for. That's the primary reason. We don't drink what this body was supposed to. We put on our skin basically things that we're not supposed to, and that's the way we create diseases. And the stress as well. People want to live above their means. They want to have lots of stuff. They want to have big cars, big houses, and all these things, which is not a bad thing if you can afford that. But if you cannot afford that, just try to live with what you've got. And people are putting themselves under stress. They want to be very good. They want to be the top at work. They will do overtime. They will basically work too much, and all these things put yourself under stress, and in turn it's going to give you diseases. And what we put as well on our hair, especially for black women. If you make a comparison, you will see that black women suffer a lot from fibroid compared to white women. Why is that? It's because black women, they put basically lots of bad stuff on their hair. They will relax their hair, they will put wigs, they put all sorts of things, and basically it's like they're ashamed of the kind of hair that they've got. I don't think that God made a mistake when he gave black people the hair that they've got. I know that white women, yes, sometimes they put wigs on their hair for specific reason, but they don't rock with that every single day, 24, 36, 360 days in a year. But you will see most of black women, they are ashamed to walk with their natural hair, and basically for most of them it's impossible for them to go out with all these things on their hair. It's impossible to go out without a wig, and this is not normal, and that's why they get all these fibroid. And it's like for example, if you've got diarrhea, what we are supposed to do, we've been told to do, just go buy some medication and stop that diarrhea straight away. But you don't ask yourself, why am I getting diarrhea? Why am I getting that? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Basically, what is happening is your body is too toxic, and your body is trying to get rid of those toxins. Basically, having diarrhea, it's a salvation process. Your body is super intelligent, is trying to get rid of all these toxins which you've got inside your body. But your first reaction is to stop that with medication. The same thing happens when you have cough. When you have cough, you're trying to expel all this bad stuff, all these toxins. But what the medical system has told us, as soon as you've got cough, you need to stop that with medication. While your body is trying to heal you, is trying to get rid of all this toxin that you've got inside you. So the question we should be asking, why we have the cough, why we have the diarrhea, and when you ask these questions, then you will be able to address the root cause. So basically, medication, what it does, it's only suppress the symptoms without addressing the root cause of your diseases. It's like, for example, if you've got a smoke alarm in your house, and you've got a smoke in the kitchen, and you say, okay, the smoke alarm is making too much noise, let me destroy it. You destroy the smoke alarm, and do you think that the fire will stop? No, the fire will continue. It doesn't. It's not because you've destroyed the smoke alarm that the fire will stop. It's exactly the same thing when you've got symptoms. You've got headache, you've got diarrhea, you've got cough, you've got all these things. Basically, your body is telling you that you are doing something wrong. And when I'm saying that you destroy the smoke alarm, it's the same thing as taking medication. When you take the medication, all the symptoms will disappear. You will not have headache anymore. You will not have diarrhea anymore. You're not going to have cough anymore. It will disappear. But the disease will continue in silence, and that's why you will see people dying just like that. He was fine in the morning, he goes out, and then he dropped dead. This is why, because the diseases have been going silently, and you should be normally happy if you have symptoms. Then you address the root cause, and you will be relieved of all these things. And when you look, you will see the first cause of death in our modern society. The first cause is heart disease. The second cause is cancer, and the third cause of death is medication and medical intervention. That's the third cause. Can you imagine that? If you want to be sure about that, look at all the medication that they give you. With that exception, you will see side effects, and even in those side effects, you can see some of them will tell you one of the side effects is death. Can you imagine that they give you medication, but if you look at the side effect, you will see that this is not to heal you. And in just an example, in 1976 in Los Angeles, doctor went on strike, and the death rate decreased by 18%. The number of deaths fell by 18%. Can you imagine that? The doctor going on strike, 18% of the people, the death rate fell by 18%. Another example, in Israel in 1989, a doctor went on strike, and the mortality rate dropped by 50%. You understand that? 50%. So basically, what the doctors are doing are not what they are supposed to do. I understand if you have trauma, the doctor are good for trauma, for trauma. Let's say, for example, if you had a car accident or you broke your arm and stuff like that, then medicine is very good for that, but not certainly for chronic diseases. Because when you take medication and surgery, that's not the answer. If I have to come back to the example that I gave about the fibroid for black women, or for women in general, if you go and get operated for fibroid, you will see after 6 months, after a year, the fibroid comes back. Why is that? Because you've not addressed the root cause. And what is the root cause? Stop putting bad stuff on your hair, stop using relaxer, let your hair have fresh hair, have sunlight, because you will see as well that lots of black women, especially here in Europe, with the climate that we've got, you will see that they're deficient in vitamin D. But you can see that vitamin D control over 2,500 genes in your body. Do you understand that? 2,500 genes are controlled by vitamin D, and lots of black women are deficient in vitamin D. But you can see the damage that you are doing to your body just because you want to cover your hair, you are ashamed of your hair, and this is not normal. Something has to be done about it. And it's the same with cancer. You can have surgery, you can have chemotherapy. These things don't address the root cause. The root cause of your cancer is toxicity in your body and deficiency. You don't have the right nutrient. That's why you get cancer. And having chemotherapy will not solve the problem. In fact, chemotherapy will give you more cancer, because the substance, the chemical substances that they use in this chemotherapy are carcinogen, so it's going to give you more cancer. And like I've said in my previous videos, people who have chemotherapy or who go through surgery, there's only 5% who survive chemotherapy. Only 5%. 95% die of the side effect, because when you have chemotherapy, it's going to destroy your immune system. But your immune system is there to protect you in the first place. So if you destroy that, what's going to happen? It's like if you've got ants in your house and you want to get rid of all these ants. You drop a bomb inside, but you're going to destroy everything. It's the same with chemotherapy. When you do that, you're going to destroy good and bad cells at the same time, and that's why your immune system will be very weak, and you will have all sort of side effects which is going to kill you. So to conclude, I would say medication never heal and will never heal you, and that's why they're asking you to take medication for the rest of your life. If you have high blood pressure, they will tell you take the medication for the rest of your life. You've got diabetes, they will tell you take the medication for the rest of your life. You've got arthritis, they will tell you take the medication for the rest of your life. But you don't know what those medications are doing to your liver. It's going to destroy your liver. It's going to destroy your kidneys. It's going to destroy everything, and that's not good. But in fact, if you change your diet, you change your lifestyle, everything will be okay. It's like me. I've had all these things, like I've said in my previous videos. I've had high blood pressure, I was pre-diabetic, I had arthritis, I had severe headache. I changed my way of eating. I started to eat live food, and I've explained in my videos what I mean by live food. It's fruit, vegetables, grain, and stuff like that, nuts and seeds. I've started to eat these things because they are live, and it's gonna give you vital energy, which will keep you in good health, which will keep your body in good health, basically. Because when you eat all these things like meat, fish, the dairy product, and all the processed food, it's gonna make your body acidic. It's gonna make your body acidic, and you don't want that. You don't want that. And basically, what you will have to do if you want to be in good health, you need to start eating live food. And the way I created, design these food so that they will integrate in our body in the correct way. So I will stop my video here. I've got others video in my YouTube channel where you need to tap Olivier Mangondo, and you will see that. Till next time, take care of yourself, and bye.